What's going on, guys? Welcome to Arsenal Fan TV, and honestly I've got no idea where to start with this one. Liverpool 5, Arsenal 1. I certainly wouldn't have forecast that result before the game. I might as well get right into it. Now, the Arsenal lineup was certainly one that I thought was capable of going into this game and certainly getting something out of it. It was an exceptional team. We saw Wilshere start, Chamberlain start, all the players I predicted would start this game, with the exception of Monreal coming in for Kieran Gibbs, which I thought, you know, wasn't a silly move by all means. I think Monreal's a fantastic player. He's an excellent player for Arsenal. But I would have preferred to have the solidarity of Gibbs, and I thought when Gibbs came on in a stage of the second half, he played better than Monreal did. I just think it would have been a more sensible move to start Gibbs for this one. But nonetheless, by no means let me give the impression I'm demeaning Monreal. I think he's still a quality player for Arsenal, and he definitely brings something to the team. Anyway, it was a game that I think every Arsenal fan went into with the impression that we could have got something out of it. Liverpool, of course, have an impeccable home form at the moment, and they showed that again today. We started the game, you know, on the back foot straight away. Couldn't have asked for a worse start. We gave away a bit of a silly free kick, a Mertesacker foul on Luis Suarez, and it was a great delivery by Steven Gerrard, and they were 1-0 up through Skirtle. Now, a bit of debate whether the goal was offside. Whether it was or not, the goal was given, and we were a goal down, and we were chasing the game from there, really. In my opinion, we had the perfect opportunity to grab an equaliser shortly after. Olivier Giroud, a golden opportunity. He decided to try and take it inside the box past Skirtle, who took the ball off him when I think he had the opportunity to shoot, and we could have been 1-1 at that stage, and it could have been a totally different game. But that didn't happen, and shortly again after that, we had I think this is a perfect example of why Arsenal do absolutely nothing from set pieces. We had a set piece in an extremely similar position to Liverpool did. You know, poor delivery. I think it was Cazorla that delivered the ball in, and then no one to meet it. Whereas Liverpool have got players to meet it, and they've got someone to whip it in, and we have no one in that team that can do that. You've got Cazorla that can do it, you've got Ozil that can do it, you've got Podolski that can, you know, all these players that can do it, but it's a real question mark over whether they can actually do it on the day, because, you know, the amount of corners we had today, the amount of set pieces, free kicks we had that nothing came of, and you worry that every time Liverpool have one, it's going to be where they're most dangerous and where we're going to be most vulnerable. Now, you know, I thought we still had the opportunity to get back into the game. We weren't playing terribly at this point, but Liverpool was certainly on top of the game, and they were the better team. But we were no means down and out. There was a 1-goal difference. But 10th minute, conceding again. You know, to go 2-0 down in such quick succession, and then to concede again 7 minutes later, and then again 3 minutes after that, it just isn't good enough to be 4-0 down in 20 minutes with a defensive partnership that hasn't been beaten in, I think it's 2 years. I mean, what went wrong today? What went so badly wrong in that first half? Everyone looked unmotivated. I think there were 2 players in that Arsenal squad today that actually looked like they were really putting their heart and soul into the game, and that was Jack Wilshere and Chamberlain, giving absolutely everything to strive and get a goal for the side. Unfortunately, it didn't come. And, you know, the only positive I think we can take from today is that that Suarez didn't score against us, because, you know, we could have been 5, maybe even 6 goals down at half time. It was that bad from Arsenal, and we had no attacking threat whatsoever. I thought, I'm not going to pick out individual players that didn't do anything for us, but I thought that Arteta was a bit sloppy today. You know, I didn't feel we had any centre defensive midfield cover, and I think Arteta, he's been an exceptional servant for Arsenal, but, you know, he's not the same player that he was when he first came into the club. Not to say he's a bad player, but he's certainly, you know, not the player that we initially started with. Ozil today, again, you know, he's an amazing player. He's a world-class player. He cost us 42.5 million, but today he just didn't have an impact at all, and I think that's one of the reasons why he was substituted. And in my opinion, when Rosicky came on for him, he had a much better game. He did more in the game for 30 minutes than Ozil did for a whole 60 minutes. And I think we've got to make a statement to Ozil, and we've got to say, look, until you start playing better, you're getting dropped for the next game. I know you could say he does all this stuff off the ball, but he certainly doesn't have the same impact in the team that someone like Hazard or Willian does at Chelsea, someone like Silva does at City, and even someone like Mata does at United. We don't have that, and Ozil is the player that is supposedly meant to bring that into the team, and he didn't in that first half. And the second half, it started exactly the same as the first half did, conceding so quickly. And it's such an you'd think that would be a fairly easy ball to defend, but why? We've got players giving up. Mertesacker giving up his run. I mean, I thought that was a bit sloppy. And then Raheem Sterling shot fired straight at Szczesny, and then simple tap in on the rebound, and we were 5-0 down. And you kind of think there's no hope. We're not going to get anything out of this game. You might as well sit back and watch Liverpool run away with it, because that's kind of what it was like. And it's as good as Liverpool were, and believe me, they were exceptional today. They have been the hardest team we have played, possibly with the exception of Man City, but Liverpool were amazing today. On their day, no team is going to be able to beat Liverpool, let alone get a couple of goals past them. And they fully deserved their win today because, like I said, as good as they were, we were just dreadful. I don't know what went wrong. I mean, this is going to be a huge, huge setback in this title push. I mean, I don't think we can say yet that we're out of the title race, because even if Chelsea and City win, then we're still only 1 point behind it. But what we've done is we've allowed Liverpool back into it. They're only 5 points behind us now. And then, you look at who we've got to play. I mean, this is the worst possible way we could have started this tough run of fixtures. We've got United next. If we can beat them, then that'll be a huge confidence boost. Then we can go into our up-and-coming games with a bit more confidence. We've got to play Liverpool again Saturday, so maybe we can, regain some form of redemption there. It doesn't have to be bad. This result can be a massive wake-up call for us. And who knows, we can go on, we can beat Chelsea away, we can beat City away, we can beat anyone on our day. But if we're going to play like that poorly, away from home, then there's no hope in hell that we've got to beat in those teams. But we're Arsenal, we can bounce back from this, we can learn from our mistakes, and we can put things right. We are still massive favourites. Well, not massive favourites, but, our odds have slipped today for us winning the Premier League. But, prove the doubters wrong. This is the kind of result that a lot of doubters would have wanted today, just to prove that we can't beat the big teams away from home. And, I'm still so confident we can do it. We've got the players at our disposal to do it. We've still got players to come back from injury, the likes of Ramsey, who was impeccable for that first half of the season. We've still got him to come back. Remember, we've missed Theo Walcott, who, admittedly, I think we should have brought in a decent replacement for him in January. But, we've got a great set of players at our disposal. We've got a great manager, and things can be put right. We can still do this. Anyway, one thing that I must say that annoys me about Arsenal, there's always one thing that goes extremely right for us, and then there's one thing that goes incredibly wrong, and I think that's been the situation for the past couple of years, and that's always been that at some stage we're incredibly defensively stable and we're lacking a little bit up top, and then there's another time when we're scoring goals for fun up top and then we're lacking in defence. And I think it's all right for us to play a second half game against someone like Crystal Palace or Stoke or some kind of mediocre team. But when you're playing only a second half against a team like Liverpool or City or Chelsea, you're going to get punished. And there was an example of that today. Liverpool took advantage of our wasteful first half, and we were, demolished. It was a demolition job by Liverpool, and they've got a great manager, a great set of fans, and they've got a great team, and I think they could honestly go on and win this league. It's a big ask for them, but if they continue to play like the way they have, to put 5 goals past the league leaders, then that's so much belief for them, and they've got great players, and they can do it. And what hurts me most about this is that they're kind of playing a second-rate defence. Sissoko, Toure, Skirtle and Flanagan. Now, normally you would assume that Liverpool's strongest back four is Enrique, Sacco, Agger and Johnson. And, to not be able to score against that, when you've got Ozil, Cazorla, Giroud, Chamberlain all attacking against that, you would think we would have at least scored a goal. And yeah, we did score, but it's from a penalty. So, we didn't impose any threat. We barely had any shots on goal. Inexcusable performance today. Things can be put right with a win against Man United. But I think a lot had to change. I think maybe we should start Gnabry for that one. I think, dropping him wasn't the most sensible of moves. And I think, we've got to drop Ozil. He hasn't been good enough recently. Rosicky has been playing a better football when he's come off the bench. And he has to be starting more, because he's the kind of player that has the impact at this club, has the passion for this club. That, players like Hazard and Silva do for Chelsea and City respectively. So that's my rant over basically. If you have enjoyed the video, it would be great if you could click the like button. Please leave your thoughts on this inexcusable result in the comments box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Please subscribe for more videos. As always, thank you very much for watching, guys.